In the short span of 8 months, Lexi had suffered from 5 urinary tract infections. She was 16. Each time she would get a 3-day dose of antibiotics, but sometimes that was just not enough. They hit with a vengeance, and she had to get emergency room treatment. She then had a renal ultrasound, and it was discovered Lexi's right kidney was slightly bigger. That was no big deal, her doctor thought. What might be a big deal was Lexi's activities with her boyfriend. Sure, sex could cause it, but Lexi wondered how many other people dealt with this. Did they stay away from sex? She concluded, no, they did not. She was at a loss until she found out that the natural flora from her own vagina was doing her in. It was Staphylococcus saprophyticus, a couple of big words for, you're creating your own issues here. She had some scans done to look for anything else, like kidney stones. There were none. The UTIs continued. Lexi was in a lot of pain with them. A new doctor sent her to the gyno department at another hospital. They actually laughed in her face, she said. The gyno doc didn't want to deal with her, so he sent her to the urogynecology department. Lexi started feeling worthless by being passed around so much. But finally, one female urogynecologist asked her questions that no other doctor had. That doctor quickly found out that no internal exams had been made of her. No smears, no urinary flow test, no cystoscopy. Lexi said that doctor was actually horrified that none of those tests had been done for her. She then made arrangements for every test she could. The doctor was going to try to find any trace of interstitial cystitis. A cystoscopy, a camera in her bladder, found nothing of that, but there were signs of having an overactive bladder. Women who normally have that are elderly. Lexi was 20. They also found blood clots in her bladder. They deduced Lexi had non-ulcerative IC, which carries all the symptoms normal patients have but could not be seen through cystoscopy. She was having burning during urination, irritability, bladder pain, and urgency for the toilet. There is no cure, and treatment can be difficult. Lexi also has bladder spasms, which are extremely painful. Because of this, she's had to change her lifestyle significantly. No more citrus, caffeine, alcohol, or spicy foods. Any one of those can trigger a spasm. She's now on a medication for the nerve damage, and she takes painkillers when she needs them. A hot water bottle will also help with the pain. She's even tried acupuncture with great success to relieve that pain. Lexi has always looked young and healthy. Perhaps that's why so many doctors put her off when she told them what she was dealing with. Even though she suffers from almost chronic pain, she can walk unassisted. Still, some of those doctors would ask her, "Do you think the pain might all be in your head?" Says Lexi, "I was mortified. I felt like a degraded woman from years ago who would have been charged with hysteria. There's nothing worse than diminishing someone's symptoms. I may look fine, but I'm simply good at hiding when I'm in pain." In all honesty, though, she sometimes wondered herself if she was just making up all those symptoms. But then she realized, why in the world would she want to do that? Like anyone else, she just wants to be pain-free and to live a good life. Lexi now has a great support system, both at home and online. They are people who really care about how she's doing and how she's dealing with her issues. One of her most difficult times was the day of her brother's wedding in mid-2017. She was a bridesmaid, but she woke up in severe pain. She got all ready, but while in the bathroom, she was in such pain that it was all she could do to hold back her screams. Her bladder, she said, was on fire. She was in complete agony. In the wedding pictures, she's all smiles, but behind those smiles is a young woman who wants to scream. It wasn't long after that her dad rushed her to a nearby medical center for treatment. They gave her antibiotics and sent her on her way. In October of 2020, doctors gave her a diagnosis of chronic UTI, something the other doctors would not give her. It's an embedded infection in her bladder lining. She has since started on some new medications for treatment. She is just now coming to terms with the fact that she has a chronic condition that she'll probably have for the rest of her life. But she hopes she's on the path, although long, to recovery. Says Lexi, I wanted to share my story so someone going through similar symptoms or other chronic illness doesn't feel alone. I felt alone for so long. No doctor had explanations, and I couldn't find anyone in the same position as me. Social media has been such a big network of support out there for us. Lean on these people when you need to. Take all the advice you can get because these people are living through it, unlike the doctors who are trying to treat us. Many people have found alternative remedies, and they share them across these platforms. The sense of community is amazing. We all have one thing in common. Please like, comment, and share. Join us and change lives. Pleased to have you around. Blessed we are to get connected with you.